Hey everybody, I hope everyone's having a good day today. I know I am. You got Dwayne, the highest here. Today, we're going to finish talking about, I should say. We're going to finish talking about the sets, about this lifestyle, about how you move and flow in this lifestyle. And there's an old saying that the education tells you. There are a lot of different type of dudes in a lifestyle. Which one are you? All right. So we're going to finish up talking about the titles and the sets. I know earlier we talked about the sets, alphas, betas, MFs, trans. Those are the sets. Then the last video I did, we talked about sexual persuasions. That's being a total top, bottom, verse, bottom. We all understand that. And now this time we're going to talk about the third and final title, sexual intimacy. That's right, sexual intimacy. Sexual intimacy sounds exactly what it's about. It's sexual, and it's a dude's intimate settings. Basically, how you want to be approached, and how you want to be approached, and how you want men to approach you. All right, so this is more about sexual intimacy. This is more about internal in all of us, okay? So, sexual intimacy affects two types of dudes in a lifestyle. It affects tops and it affects bottoms. Now, a lot of sexual intimacy doesn't really affect verse dudes simply due to the fact that most verse dudes can do a variety of different types of intimacy zones. So as verse dudes, because they're verse bottom, verse top, they have the ability to do a lot of different intimacy settings in which, because they are verse, that kind of works for them. Okay, that doesn't necessarily work for tops and bottoms. Okay, and I'm gonna completely break that down and explain the difference to you. So let's just first off, let's talk about bottoms. All right, so sexual intimacy with bottoms. Every bottom in the lifestyle falls into one of three categories. I'm gonna break the categories down to make it real simple for you. Okay, every bottom is one of these bottoms. The first one is a pussy boy. We all understand what a pussy boy is in this lifestyle, all right? So that's kind of self-explanatory, okay? The second one is a pleaser. And the third one is an oral bottom, all right? So I'm going to break them all down for you. So let's talk about oral bottom. We all understand what an oral bottom is. An oral bottom is a bottom, but at some point, this type of bottom wants his top to be submissive to him. That's right. He wants his top to be submissive. Normally, bottoms play a submissive role. But this particular type of bottom, at some point in the relationship, usually in a more intimate setting, he wants his top to be submissive to him. Usually in the form of an oral situation. We all understand what that is, all right? That's one type of bottom, okay? The second one is a pleaser, okay? Now, a lot of guys think, well, you said earlier, pussy boy and pleaser. Aren't they the same thing? No. There is a fundamental difference between a pussy boy and a pleaser, all right? So first we're going to start off with a pleaser. The difference between a pussy boy and a pleaser is one is external and one is internal, all right? Pleasers, they're external. It's all about the other dude. It's all about the top. For them, it's making sure that top is on point, making sure that top is happy, making sure that top needs whatever he needs. It's all about him. And this type of bottom has the internal ability that he needs to feel that he needs to go out and be able to do whatever his tops require him to do because he wants to please his top. For him, it's about the other guy. It's external. For a pussy boy is internal. It's all about him. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. If a pussy boy is in an intimate setting and he's with his top, and, you know, they getting it in, they doing their thing, and they having fun, all right? For him, he's not interested in pleasing his top. What he's interested in is being owned. Being owned. There's a big difference between pleasing the top and being owned. When you want to be owned in your head, if he's with his top and his top is, they getting it in and they doing it hard, going hard and fast at it, and he's being completely dominated by this dude, his top is completely owning him. He can't move, he can't think, he can't do anything without that top's approval. He's in heaven. He's in heaven, because that's exactly how he wants to feel. He doesn't want to please his top. He wants to be owned. All right. Now, every bottom has the ability to do all three of these. But it's not that for bottoms that have the ability to do all three of these. One of these is more important than the other two, and that's your title. Now, I know a lot of guys say, hey, I can see myself doing 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. Yeah, like I said, every bottom has the ability to do all three of them. But one of these means more to you than the other two. And that's how you know that's your title. And that works for you, because you need a partner who's going to give you the opposite but equal. So now, since we're talking about the opposite but equal, let's flip it. All right? Let's talk about the tops. Every top is one of these 3 different types of tops. The first one is a dominator. The second one is a protector. And the third one is an oral top. So let's just talk about the oral situation, all right, since we talked about this. An oral top is a top. At some point, he wants to be submissive to his bottom. Usually in the oral situation, he wants to be submissive to his bottom. Now, I know a lot of bottoms say, hey, I'm not really into that. That's not my type of thing. That's not my cup of tea, which is perfectly fine. But this type of top, you got to understand, he's going to be submissive. And the best dude for him is an oral bottom. That way, everybody gets what they want and everyone is happy, all right? So we're going to move right along. We're going to talk about the protectors. Well, the opposite of a protector is a pleaser. So a top who has to feel the need of overprotecting, making sure that his dude is on point, making sure that everything is taken care of and that things are going to be run smoothly between the two of them. This is a protector. Protectors go with pleasers. Dudes who feel the overprotectiveness over their bottoms, they're protectors. All right? And pleasers and protectors, they go hand in hand. All right? So now we set up for the last one. The last one is dominators. All right? So let's talk about our dominators. Dominators sound exactly what it is. These brothers love to completely dominate their bottoms. From head to toe, from where we go to what we do to how we do what we do. He wants to completely dominate his bottom. That's how he's going to come at you. That's what he wants. That's what he's looking for. So all those pussy boys out there, all right, if you know you're a pussy boy, you need to find a dominator, because he's going to give you exactly what you want. Pussy boys and dominators go hand in hand. All right, so these are all the sexual intimacies from tops to bottoms, and I'm going to give you them off one more time. For bottoms, we got pussy boys, we got pleasers, and we got all bottoms. For tops, we got dominators, we got protectors, and we got all tops. Every top, every bottom, you're one of these. These are your titles. This is your last title and maybe one of the most important ones, because you need to be able to identify who's going to work for you long term. That's what this is all about. This is not necessarily about who you want to get with. This is about who works out for you long term. All right? So I finished the titles off. We're going to continue to talk about this. We're going to keep it going on, talking about the education and the lifestyle. And we're going to keep talking about this. All right? So I want everyone's having a good day today. All right.